You're listening to What's in Store, a podcast from the Hardlines Information Network. This episode is brought to you by JELD-WEN.
Hi, Michael McLarney here with Hardlines. I'm speaking with Jason Tasse, the President and COO of Lee Valley Tools. Nice to see you, Jason.
It's great to see you too, Mike.
Thank you very much for being here. One of the things that really made an impression on me, we were at the Hardlines Conference today, and you were one of the presenters. You were talking about the importance of corporate culture and carrying that culture forward and making sure that as a company grows, it has that DNA transmitted to that growing network of workers. Tell me a bit about what you do when you want to bring a leader on board or train them for your leadership.
Well, at Lee Valley Tools, we've gone through an internal generational shift. So many of our original leaders have gone on to a well-deserved retirement. One of my largest tasks, I would say, in the past decade has been to build a new leadership team for Lee Valley. The first filter, which all candidates are measured by, is values. Right? Values are the single most important. Hard skills are wonderful, but the values are the most important. Then we put a lot of emphasis, not just on business acumen, the ability to manage the mechanics of the business, but it's the cultural impact that really matters. And we've designed and worked with a firm out of Dallas where we really focus on long game planning when it comes to people.
Yeah, you mentioned that expression, the long game. Tell me about that approach to people. What does that mean?
Organizations can get fixated on quarterly results. And having the luxury of growing up in a family business, we just naturally plan on long planning horizons. Many of the large investments we make would never pass a private equity test. But when it comes to people, projects, and initiatives, we really focus on a long arc of time. We operate on 2 arcs of time in the business. Of course, there's the results, the mechanics side. But when it comes to people and culture, we are heavily vested in that, and we plan for a long period of time. The training that we've incorporated with our leadership team, and we've now cascaded it through right down to the management level, is all about the soft skills. Managing drama at work, dealing with contextual delivery of information, active listening, truly listening, right? Understanding that things will happen, it's how we respond to them that matters. So it's this really wonderful curriculum that we're wrapping around the business acumen. So you've got the business acumen for the short arc of time, but then you have this nice acumen on helping unlock leaders' potential on a broader arc of time.
Okay, and that sounds very, I think, a very contemporary approach and a very personal and authentic approach. But what's the payback? I mean, in dollars and cents, you still have to make you have to make a profit. How do you see the payback on that?
Well, you would have seen in the presentation today, I referenced 3 culture stories. And innovative ideas came from employees that have been with Lee Valley Tools for 30 years. 30 years. I'm a testament to it. This is my 29th year. So when you ask what's the payback, I don't know. What's the cost of losing a good leader short-term and onboarding one, as opposed to having the stability and investment of a long-term leader?
And that's a good point, because people that are just crunching the numbers, they can assign a cost to that loss. And I mean, that's a very good point.
Well, I would say, I get asked often, what does employee engagement look like? And I would say, when you're handing somebody a 25-year certificate, or they're willing to work 1 extra minute of their discretionary time to see something through on their own accord, to me, that's a success.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing the vision of success you have, not just for your company, but for your people. It's a great one. Thank you for sharing it today.
My pleasure.
All right.
This episode is brought to you by JELD-WEN.
JELD-WEN of Canada's dedication to energy efficiency and sustainability has led to the creation of our most advanced window yet, the JWC 8500 series. As a proud Energy Star partner since 2003, our commitment is to provide products that not only meet, but exceed energy efficiency standards, helping homeowners save more on energy bills and reduce their carbon footprint. Visit JELD-WEN.ca to learn more about our innovative JWC 8500 series.
Hi, Michael McLaren here from Hardlines. I'm speaking with Richard Darveau, who is the founder of Well Made Here, Bien Fait Ici. Richard, welcome. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for your presentation.
Wow, it was a pleasure. This short lecture, but I think we marked some points.
So very impactful, very impactful. Just give us at the top line of why it's important for Canadians and for the Canadian industry to focus on Canadian-made products in a Canadian-based industry.
Well, first of all, on the public finances, the impact is huge. If you take one important product and you compare the impact on fiscality with a local-made product, it's a difference of $1 with $5. So you do much money for your government. So if the government is in better health, you will ask less money from you guys, from the enterprises. That's the basic idea. And we need to keep on with the balanced GOP. And manufacturing was about 25% of our GOP 15 years ago. Now it's less than 10%. What it means that there's more chances that we will give away some headquarters, give away some innovation, and numbers speak for themselves. 4,000
Patents, yes,
patents
okay.
are registered by Canadian each year. In China, we're talking about 1.5 million patents a year, and that same thing in India and other countries that they were not competitive a couple of years ago, but we let them take having an advantage on our economy, and that's too bad. So we need to react.
We need to bring that back then, repatriate
I think
that.
so.
Yeah, it's like a good business.
Yeah, and you know what? American are doing the same. We're asking for Canadian. So American leaders all say, try to prioritize American product in your consumption at the grocery, at the hardware store, and everywhere, in your cars. And we should do the same.
I think you've made a good point in your presentation about the value of the Canadian brand and things made in Canada are well respected internationally.
Yes, and even for domestic purpose. People from here, if you don't give them the information, they won't ask for it, that's for sure. But if at the hardware store, a salesperson know the origin of the different product he's proposing, and if he tells you as a consumer that this one is made in Brampton, Ontario, or in Saskatoon, you will open your ear. If the product is better quality, you will have your 2 ears open, and the price could be competitive if the durability of the product is there. So there's an argument to put behind. It will not come alone naturally. So you have to sell it. So that's the idea of a program of promotion.
Gotcha. Well, it sounds like there's not just good economic reasons, but there's and not just nationalistic reasons, but it just makes sense as Canadians to be investing in that Canadian research, that Canadian product.
And the climate change, the fragility of the geopolitical scene should be other reasons to look at local product much more in the future.
So we saw through COVID just how fragile that global supply chain is, isn't it? How much more risk we are. Richard, thank you for your input today, and that's a great program. We want to follow its growth in the industry as the time goes on. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Merci.
Okay.
Bonjour, moi c'est Jeff McClarney, rédacteur adjoint chez Hardlines. On est à la 28e conférence Hardlines dans la région de Charlevoix. Avec moi aujourd'hui, Phylip Savard-Tremblay, qui vient d'être reconnu comme jeune détaillant de l'année pendant les Outstanding Retailer Awards. Phyl Liquide, surnommé comme ça. C'est quoi l'histoire là?
Le Phyl Liquide, bien, ça a commencé durant la pandémie en 2022 où en 2020 en fait, où je n'étais pas encore propriétaire, copropriétaire avec mon père à ce moment-là. Et puis, le monde c'était la pandémie, fait que le monde était chez eux, ils respectaient les règles sanitaires, tout ça. Fait que moi, j'ai lancé à mon père, à son associé. On pourrait peut-être faire des vidéos sur Facebook et essayer de voir si ça va attirer les personnes en magasin pour essayer de vendre l'inventaire et les produits qu'on a achetés et qui se vendent pas. Donc, ça a commencé comme ça sur Facebook, puis Après ça, ça a été Marketplace. Après ça, Phyl Liquide est venu. Après, le nom est venu pour de vrai, là. Juste quand on a fait cliquer sur la caméra, quand on a commencé la vidéo, c'est là que le nom est quasiment apparu et que ça s'est continué. Si on peut dire « Hey, à tantôt », est venu après quelques vidéos. Puis après ça, on a continué de peaufiner. Après, là, ça fait 2 ans maintenant 4 ans que Phyl Liquide existe maintenant.
Vous êtes lauréé comme jeune détaillant de l'année. Qu'est-ce que cela signifie pour vous?
Et que je pensais jamais avoir ce titre-là. En fait, moi, quand j'ai embarqué avec mon père, j'ai dit, t'as fait 35 ans avec ton ancien associé. J'ai dit, tu vas faire 35 ans avec moi. À la blague, ça marchait, t'es acheté, tout ça. Mais pour moi, ça voulait juste dire, on embarque dans l'entreprise familiale, puis on continue à travailler pour nos clients, leur donner un bon service à la clientèle, les contracteurs, continuer de trouver des produits qui vont se démarquer face à nos compétiteurs de ce monde, essayer de jouer des prix compétitifs. Donc pour moi, jeune détaillant de l'année, ça montre que mes efforts, les efforts que j'ai portés avec mon père et tous nos employés qui sont derrière nous, puis nos clients, que ça a porté fruit puis qu'on est sur la bonne voie, fait qu'on va continuer d'être sur cette lancée.
Merci, Phyl Liquide.
Ça fait plaisir. Je vous dirai, hey, à tantôt!
You've been listening to What's in Store from the Hardlines podcast series. Today's episode was brought to you by JeldWeb.